Welcome back to Malamic Art. My name is Mickey, and today's product review is also on another Qor product, and it's the introductory set. I got all three, so the last video I did was the earth set, and this is the introductory set. So I'm kind of excited about this because these are all the kind of basic colors that you need for just mixing and just the primaries, you know. This set has Hansa Yellow Light, it has Pyrrole Red, Permanent Alizarin Crimson, it has Phthalo Blue with green shade, it has Ultramarine Blue, and a Burnt Sienna Natural. So there we have the 6 in this introductory set. Now, as I had said in the other video, Qor is still working out their lightfastness, and they haven't provided pigment information on their little swatch here, but swatch card. But that information is available on their website. And these guys do use a different binder called Aquazol. They do not use a gum arabic. And the Aquazol is so far so good. The pans that I had poured for the other set, they haven't hardened yet, and it's been, I don't know, a couple days. So let's see what they look like. So here is the earth set, and here are the pans that I poured, and they're still very moist. So I expected the Aquazol binder in them to be very, to make them hard, but it hasn't. It's kind of just like honey. It's makes them very soft and very re-wettable or reactivatable, and they say that the pigment load in a tube is higher concentrated now with the Aquazol. So there's just some things about the Aquazol. So I am going to go ahead and swatch these out, and let's see here. What I wanted to do was the warms and the cools, but that's not going to work here. I also want to do a color mixing chart. So first I'll just do this, and I'm working on these swatches in the way that I've been inspired by Today Saves the Day. She has a wonderfully she's just really intelligent with her approach to checking out paints and art and etc. I would definitely check out her YouTube. And these swatch rectangles are kind of the way she does them. They're sort of a nod to her. And the way I'm just going to not pan these yet. So let's see. My first is Pyrrole Red. I need to pull up a chair. Okay. So make sure that I can see everything here. Okay. So Pyrrole Red is PR 255. The light fastness is a 1, which is considered excellent in the ASTM standard. And I went on about that in the last video as well. So go check out the last video in order to know everything about the standards. See, Golden has yet to have all of their colors tested by the ASTM. So just because of that, they have their own grading scale. And their grading scale is EX for excellent light fastness, GD for good light fastness, and FR for fair. So the way that Set Saves Today does hers is she does a wet wash here. So this is just the wet wash. She lets that go. And then down here, she just does a solid one, so you can see the color. And then, so later, so this tests the opacity and how the wash works in a wet on wet. And this one right here is for the flow of how the water travels across the paper, and I can't do that quite yet because this is still wet. So I'm going to go on to the next one. But as far as Pyro Red, it's interestingly a little different than I remember Pyro Red being. And that's only because I've tried a few others. Let's see. Actually don't, I thought for sure I had some. I know I have one with, I guess I don't. Not yet. There's a permanent, oh, here's a Power Red. So this is Turner Power Red, and it's a little bit on the cooler side. So this is more like a permanent scarlet to me. I don't know. I guess we'll have variations between different companies, and that's exactly why we do this. So you can learn the new company's paints. So, okay, next I'm going to go with Hansa Yellow Light. While that was drying. Okay. Oop. So far so good. This company is, I've been quite impressed. So here is Hansa Yellow Light, which is semi-transparent. It's a little bit more than I thought it would be. So this is why we do those tests. So it's a little bit more opaque, but it may dry differently. So we'll see. So here's just a full load of this paint here. And then later when it's dry, we'll use a chisel brush or something and try to check out the lift as well. Can't wait to get to the color mixing chart because these are going to make some amazing colors. So the phthalo blue. So funny, whenever I see phthalo blue, I always want to pronounce the P. And I try not to. Sometimes I do. Okay, so here's the phthalo blue, which looks pretty same to me. Wow. Okay. So I'm gonna, oh, the brush wasn't completely, okay. That phthalo blue is definitely staining. I'm going to need to grab another brush. So it will work better anyway. So the permanent alizarin crimson. It's nice that they have permanent because alizarin crimson has been known to be very fading over time. But this one has, oops, I squirted too much out. This one has a grade by the Golden Company. Golden created Qor, which created these watercolors. They're all one and the same, basically. And so instead of having the ASTM grade it, they've graded it good. And it's not an excellent, so this still has permanency issues, but it's a gorgeous color. This would really, really be great for a lot of different mixes. You can see like a really nice brown with this too. Look at the legs. Gosh, can you see? Make sure I'm getting everything here. Oh, I hope you saw that whole thing. Jeez. Okay, so the next is burnt sienna. And I'm working on Legion's Stonehenge Aqua cold pressed paper. It's about 140 pounds, 325 GSM. I'm going to put so this alizarin, I'm sorry, the burnt sienna is a PBR 7. I don't think I even said anything about the alizarin crimson. The alizarin crimson was PR 177. Lightfastness is GD for good. It's transparent and very staining. This burnt sienna, oops, I have a real lot of it there. Yeah, this burnt sienna is a natural shade. And its light fastness is 1. It's semi-opaque, granulating, and it is semi-staining. And wow, you can already see the granules in there, which is cool. I like that. And last but not least is ultramarine blue. I have a lot of ultramarine blues now. They come in every pack that I've had. Well, not every one, but most of them. So this is the cooler shade of blue. This is the warmer. Oops, I didn't do the bottom one for the burnt sienna. Okay. Just gonna darken that up a little. Okay, so there we have the swatches. And now I'm going to do a time lapse for the rest of it, basically. And I'll do a color chart here, this mixing chart. I have some brown on my hand. And I'll see you at the end. Hi, so I have some final thoughts. Looking at this, I forgot that this is a Pyro Red Light, so no wonder it's different from the others. And here it is a little bit darker, and the Hansa Yellow Light and the Burnt Sienna. What you don't notice in this is there's this great cool granulation in this Burnt Sienna, and I noticed it in the swatch from the last Qor. So this granulate, there's some really cool granulation in this. I don't know how they do it, but it's like the coolest. I don't know, the specks are just different in this particular paint, and they're really neat. I don't know if you can see that, but they're like little teeny tiny dots. So the lift on these is pretty accurate. I'd say the one that lifts the most, I don't know, ultramarine blue, I guess. Powder red, actually, surprisingly, it did lift a little bit. There's my kitty. Yeah. So I think this is a great starter set to have a warm and a cool red, and a warm and a cool blue, and a mid yellow, and a brown, and it's just the perfect set. So you really can get any combination here: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, and then a brown, and it even makes a black. So you would be all set with this one set here, this introductory set by Qor. So those are my final thoughts about it, and I think this video is long enough, so I'm not going to do a painting time lapse. I'll do a separate one working with just these 6 colors in another video. Thanks for joining me. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.